Let's not break the mic next.
SMR.
I'm going to leave this part in.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Film Frenzies. I'm one of your hosts, Nick.
And I'm your other host, Grant.
This week, guys, we're trying something new, like we said last week at the end of the episode, and we're going to be looking at Stranger Things, the entire series.
The good and the bad.
Yes, definitely. So we're just gonna go through each season, give a little brief summary, maybe some cool facts about the season or something like that if we know any, and then we'll have some top list and if
we go from there.
Yeah.
Might be a shorter episode, might be a longer episode. Right now, we have no idea.
Yes.
But
unaware.
At least we know for next time. If it is a shorter one, we know we need to add something else. But
yeah.
If not, so be it. Sorry for the delay in posting, everybody. We had a kind of a hectic few weeks, so didn't get a chance to record. So we're happy to get back on the ball and start posting again. So without further ado, I think Nicholas is actually going to give us a summary of season 1. Well, a brief summary. It's not going to be in depth.
I mean, we know a lot of people have already seen Stranger Things,
and so we're not going to waste our time summarizing it because, I mean, you guys just it's a good show overall. Go watch it.
So season 1, I would say gives off very Stephen King's vibes. For Stranger Things, season 1 centers around the mysterious disappearance of a 12-year-old boy, Will Byers, in Hawkins, Indiana, revealing a parallel dimension called the Upside Down. There's monstrous creatures, as the boys name them, demigorgons from a popular video game, Dungeons & Dragons. The demigorgons abduct Will, while his friends Mike, Dustin, and Lucas find and team up with a new girl, 11, who has psychic powers, who actually escaped from a government lab to re-find the gate and to get Will out, while Will's mother, Joyce, and police chief Hopper start to secretly uncover the mysterious mystery that the government is hiding in the small town of Hawkins, Indiana. So, what did you think about the first season?
The first time I watched it, I liked it. But I found it, out of all the seasons, it was one of the harder ones to rewatch because a lot of it is, which, you know, it's the first season, they have to do it. It's the character building. But, I don't know, I thought, first time I watched it, I really did like it. After that was kind of a tough watch for me. And I thought it was boring. But, you know, it was, I liked it because, you know, it was a lot of those young actors. It was their first time acting, and they did really well. I mean, you watch like the Harry Potters when their first movie,
yep.
That was awful. Like their acting was not good. Like, and so I think they did really good with the younger cast. But I don't know. I just rewatching it. There was something missing to it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely liked this season. It was, like I said at the beginning, it's a very big kind of Stranger Things vibe. And it's mysterious at first. You know, you don't really know what's going on. And then it slowly builds. And it was very interesting that, like, Will could talk to his mom through the Upside Down, but it would distort.
Through the lights.
Yeah, it would distort, and things would act up, and they do a really good job of, you know, being that mysterious. Like, is Will alive? Is he just talking from, like, hell, heaven? Like, is he a ghost? And this is him trying to, like, it was a lot of mysteries because up until, like, I forget what episode. Maybe it's not this season. Maybe it's the next season that they show that. But they don't show you at all Will in the Upside Down.
They show you in Castle Byers.
Okay.
With him, like, hiding there.
Yeah.
And so they kind of do, but it's not like...
Yeah. And it was very... It was good to see all the characters' development. I mean, it was good to see some actors. I mean, I always enjoyed Nawat. What is her name? Ryder. I can't think of her first name. She plays Joyce. Nawat.
Yeah, I'm terrible with their real names.
Was a big person in the 80s, played in Beetlejuice. I mean, she played in a lot of movies in the 80s. That was kind of the young, attractive girl, but like a gothic kind of way. And it was good to see her in that role, which, as we talk about in other seasons, a lot of people from the 80s and 90s come into the movie, which I'll talk a little bit more about that in season 2 because of certain characters. It was good to see, Hopper had that kind of, I want to say like Indiana Jones kind of vibe, like small town sheriff, but big attitude.
And
like
it's always nothing ever happens here. Like,
and I liked. Did you notice in the first movie the scene where he
first
types
season.
or first season? Sorry. Did you notice that when he types the missing persons, that was a copy of Jaws when Sheriff Brody's typing. Shark attack.
I did notice.
That's why he's on typewriter and it goes boom, boom, boom. Missing persons because it was doing when Brody did shark attack to kind of indicate like something's going on here, like more than usual. And I like that they kind of took from the 80s. It felt like it was a 90s movie. I just saw someone actually watched all the series on like an old TV player, and he's like, it looked like it was in the 90s, like just the way the fuzzy TV and stuff like that. And actually, for anybody that doesn't know, Stranger Things is very, very loosely based off of real events that happened during the Cold War, which is, I think this is right around the Cold War, maybe. Because I know they talk about the Russians and stuff. And it was very interesting because in real life, they actually thought kids were the secret to mind control. So the United States, Russia, and I think England, I don't know if it was England, but I know the United States and Russia were actually trying to make these kids actually have these psychic powers. And it failed. And it's actually real things. You can look it up. It's called Project Stargate, which is actually a real science or government secret that they just didn't work. And now it's part of the show, and it kind of fits the timeline, and I think that's why Eleven has the power she has. It's saying, yeah, it actually did happen. There are kids. And that was very interesting. And the other thing I liked about this season, it was very much of a trusting the government kind of scenario. Like how Mike's mom, when the government comes in and says, hey, your son's not safe and blah, 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 she's kind of on the fence about it and stuff like that, while his dad is kind of like, they're the government, they never lie to us, and he's kind of more of a go America kind of person. And I think it's funny to see that because that's interesting, because like certain people know this government's up to something, but other people are just like, that's what they do, it's okay.
Yeah.
And I thought it was very interesting. And there's also board character moments. I mean, you got Will, of course, coming back sick. Will comes back sick, as they were said. You kind of saw at the ending of season 1, where he spits up the slug, or he just spits up dark stuff. I can't remember if he spits up dark stuff or actually a slug.
Yeah,
but I mean, there's also the character development of all the kids. And then there's also character moments as Steve Harrington comes in with the baseball bat and saves the day. And you lose people like Barb. I feel like Barb wasn't used properly as she should have been.
I'm pretty sure Steve isn't in that season 2.
Because he comes in with Nancy and Jonathan try to catch it at the house.
Yeah, that was at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, because he goes back in to apologize to Jonathan, and then that's when he sees it and takes the baseball bat. All right. I mean, if you have anything further for season 1, kind of any thoughts? And
no, I think that's about it. I'm only gonna throw this theory out here now because it's about season 1, kind of. Obviously, if you guys haven't seen the show, it goes into Vecna. But there's rumor that Vecna was actually the one that took Will, not a Demogorgon. Because the Demogorgons don't, like, specifically hunt people.
Mm-hmm.
And it was supposed to be, like, this whole thing that... There was, like, this whole theory that, like, the only people that could open up gates was Vecna. So it's supposed to be that, like, Vecna's actually the one that took Will in the beginning, not a Demogorgon.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of theory behind that. I thought that was kind of cool to think about that.
And I thought it was very interesting too, like what you were saying, that when Will's in the shed,
oh yeah,
the door
capsule buyers or whatever,
or when he's in his house or whatever, the door unlocks from the
that's
inside.
the other thing, and
it's like
so
the only
Vecna
people that could have done that is Vecna or 11.
Yeah, and 11 wasn't around yet, so.
And
that's why I think it's Vecna, because he has the power to do that.
Yeah, and I like what people were saying about Barb was the fact that Vecna was trying to use Barb as the vessel to be his spy, but she was too old and had her own willpower, so he needed to go
Will was
younger.
taken before Barb.
Oh yeah, he was.
Because Will was taken in the first episode, and
Yeah.
Barb wasn't killed until 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think it's 2 or 3. So yeah, maybe not. I know people said that online. I thought that was kind of interesting.
But I think it was also like maybe like he couldn't find Will at the time.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where it comes in. But yeah. So season 2.
All right. So Stranger Things season 2 starts off with, we see Will at a lab. He's trying to get treatment because, he's still feeling the effects and psychological events that occurred. At the meantime, Dustin finds a new breed that he thinks is just a new breed of science, but then you find out it's a demo dog, which comes from the Upside Down, which then you also find out Eleven's alive and that she's been living with Hopper in his cabin, and the boys are experiencing a new threat as the demo dogs are a vast amount of them, and they're quick, and they start, and Will draws a lot. And then this is also the season you find out that the Mind Flare, which is there's new being that Joyce finds in a drawing when she checks a camera. She sees the Mind Flare's outline, she sketches it. You find out that the Mind Flare is using Will as a spy to see everything going on. But Will is not in control when the Mind Flayer takes over. He has no idea what's going on. He essentially blacks out. Which, as we'll talk, as the seasons go on, becomes a bigger thing in season 5, where you find out the whole time it wasn't the Mind Flayer. Well,
You're jumping a little ahead there.
And this is also the season where a new member is introduced to the group called Max Mayfield. And this is also where you actually meet Eleven's sister Kai, number 8. Kali, number 8. And they end up, they close the portal. 11 ends up closing the portal at the end, and they get the Mind Flayer out of Will when she comes down like a dust, I'd say. It's like a dust that comes out of Will.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of reminds me, I know you haven't seen it, but Supernatural, the demons come out like dust. And
Well, it reminds me, I don't know if you ever heard of Lost.
Yeah.
There's a black smoke, and it kind of runs around like that. So I like this season a lot. Which Hannah will agree with me, we don't like the episode where she meets her sister.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a pointless episode where they just run around and do whatever they want. And then, bitching. And so that episode, if I took that episode out, I really like this season. I think they did well introducing Billy and Max. Max didn't just stumble in. She was like, "Hey, I'm part of the crew." Dustin's playing his game, and he's like, "Hey, this person called Mad Max beat my record." So then they're trying to figure out who it is, and everything's calm at the time. The only person that's kind of devastated is Will, because he keeps seeing this big ass monster in the sky. And I think they did really good, because a lot of shows they just try to throw in characters and they're like, "Oh, well, they're part of the group, deal with it." This one, they had to ease Max into the group. Will wasn't happy about it. Or not Will. Mike wasn't happy about it.
Yeah, because he thought he was replacing 11.
Yeah, because 11 at the time is, she's alive, but they don't know that she's alive. Well, I think at the end of the season, Mike finds out. I think that's when 11 shows up.
She shows up when...
After she's with Kali and she comes...
Yeah, the demo dog goes to break in and it gets thrown through the window.
Yeah. So, Mike finds out then. But, like... it was... Other than... with the new characters, and I think they did really well this season. I like the introducing the demo dogs along with the demigorgons, and like they're kind of like building
like the evolution.
Yeah, well, not only that, but they're just building like, hey, there's multiple different types of things that live in this upside down. And I think that season they show a bit more of the upside down in, don't they?
A little bit more
because of
the Hawkins trying to keep which they think they're keeping it contained.
Well, no, they're burning it that season.
Yeah, they think they're keeping contained from it spreading, but they don't know that there's being tunnels made around the whole city.
And so they're burning it this season, and it's actually burning stuff in the real world, and it's like this whole mess. Will. Yeah. So I really like this season. I thought they did really well with it. I thought it was a good continuation of the last season before that, but it wasn't like too much at once either. But I think season 2 really pushed the story along. Whereas, you already have the main characters. Yeah, there was still some, introduction of Billy and Max and them. But, then you start getting, Steve starts coming in with hanging out with Dustin. Yeah. And they go through the tunnels together. And Joyce and Popper really start working together again. Mm-hmm. And Bob... Yep. God bless him.
Yeah. I mean, for me, this is a mixed review for me for this season. Because one of the biggest things I couldn't stand for this season and the next season, and even the first season, is 11 talking like a fucking caveman. Oh my god, it drives me crazy. I understand that she's new and doesn't really talk to people, but it's still you just come on, get it out. Get it out, Junior.
But you say that it's new and she still talks to people, but... When they went to school, air quotes, school, it was to develop their mind power. But it's not like they were taught English there. It's not like they weren't even really allowed to talk.
My biggest thing is just, it's not even that I understood why they did it and everything, but to me it was just very annoying. Yeah. She's always like, you bad papa, or something. And she's like, waffles, Eggo waffles.
Yeah, she likes waffles. Like, Jesus. And she's like,
you lie like papa.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my god.
But to have that kill the season.
Yeah.
You say that the season's up and down because of that? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, something I said I was going to bring up is one of the honorable things you just said, Bob. Bob is played by Goonie. The main Goonie.
Isn't that also Rudy?
Rudy, and he's also one of the hobbits.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings. So he's introduced to the movie. Once again, another show. Another 80s, 90s actor that was popular and well known.
And he did well in that role of trying to help out Will and Jonathan, and he was a good fit for Joyce, even though there was that whole Hopper Joyce thing going on. But Bob really did. He just wanted to help everyone, and he did. I mean, he saved their lives.
And then another character that I like when they do this, because it already builds that tension, but then they do the old reversal on you, and you're like, wow, I did not expect that, was the doctor for Will. He was actually, I know my horror movies. I forget which alien it is, but he is one of the bad guys in Alien, one of the techs that goes to steal the eggs. And anybody that knows 80s movies and have seen that, right away, you're like, I don't like him. Because you saw him as a bad guy before, so you're instantly like, I don't really like this guy. And the whole season, he puts off that feeling that he's going to betray him, and he's going to turn on him, and he's secretly doing something. And then
in a way, he kind of is bad in that season.
And then at the end of this, that's the scene at the end of the day, he helps him.
Yeah, at the end of the day. But in the middle of the season stuff, he's telling everybody he's trying to close the portal.
Yeah.
When he's actually trying to destroy it.
Yeah.
I don't want to say he's a bad guy. He thinks that that's the best way around it. But he also kind of uses Will to try to use information from Will to destroy this upside down and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, it's kind of mixed. I mean, maybe he might be good. He just did it in the wrong way. But...
And this is also the season where Murray gets involved more. He's mentioned in the first season.
Yeah, because this is when Jonathan and Nancy
and Nancy and Jonathan, after the first season and experiencing everything that happened to Will and Barb dying, Nancy feels very guilty about it, which ends up the relationship between Nancy and Steve. Because Steve's just like, yep, the government told us to shut the hell up. I'm shutting the hell up.
Yeah.
And Nancy's kind of like, that's bullshit. Why are we doing this?
Because,
Nancy's... they make a joke about it in the next season. Nancy Drew, she's a mystery person, and I just felt that. I will agree. There's a lot of character development in this season too. They're trying to,
and I don't mind the development, but season 1 was boring because it was just introductions, and like they really had it. And I know it's season 1.
Yeah.
They have to do that. But, like, I don't know. I know other shows that they introduce the character throughout 8 seasons where there's just random flashbacks every once in a while. Yeah. Like, we didn't really learn about Elle until season 4. That's when they really start doing the flash. So, like, even with that one, like...
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I really like this second season. I'd say it was one of the better ones.
Yeah.
And, you were talking about the Jonathan, Nancy, and Murray. Well, you know when he drops a thing on his
the
lap?
egg, and he's like, oops.
Yeah, that was an accident. He wasn't supposed to do that.
Yeah, you can see that
he just drops and he goes, oops.
And you can see Nancy like about to break. She's about to laugh, but she holds it in enough for them to say cut, and they kept it in.
Yeah, I think stuff like that is funny, but I like season 2.
All right. Time for season 3. Stranger Things Season 3 is set in the summer of 1985. The Mind Flayer returns, possessing people starting with Billy, to build a flesh monster while the Soviets secretly try to reopen the Upside Down Gate beneath Starcourt Mall. The kids, teens, adults form separate teams to fight the threat, accumulating in a massive battle at the mall where Eleven loses her powers and Billy sacrifices himself. And at the same time this is happening, Joyce seemingly kills Hopper by closing the gate, leading to the Byers family moving away. But the post-credit reveals Hopper's still alive and he's in Russia. What'd you think? Season 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, the whole Mind Flayer taking over and then just absorbing the bodies. It was kind of like what the hell's the point? Like, you would think that they would rather just have an army of people rather than...
Yeah, yes and no.
Just absorbing the bodies.
The Mind Flayer's whole purpose is the takeover, and he knows Eleven's the threat.
Yeah, exactly. But if he took over all these people, he could take over... Like, if he would have stuck just doing that...
he could have, because he saw how strong Billy was against Eleven.
Yeah.
Pretty much shut her down.
Yeah, and maybe Billy was a stronger one out of all of them. But I think it's because he was the first one. But, it wasn't even just people. Like, he started out with the rats. Like, they could have done animals. Like, I don't know. It was kind of like...
My biggest problem with the season was the Soviets. I feel like I liked season 1 and 2 because it was like the Soviets are doing this, but it was kind of like the Cold War. Are they really doing it?
But not only that,
but season 3 they're like, hell yeah, they're here, they're opening the gate. And
but not only that, but they were in Russia. Now all of a sudden they're in the basement of a mall, and how did they even get here? How did they find out about it? How did they And I don't know. The season, like I said, the season was okay. But it was just, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of quotable things in it. Like, can't spell America without Erica. Mm-hmm. And, Henderson, and you know,
And you got
stuff
to
like
introduce
that.
Robin.
Yeah, and Robin was introduced,
And I
and
forgot to say my favorite line from season 2.
what?
When Billy comes to get Max and he's like, "Is that you, Harrington?" Harrington says, "Yeah, don't cream your pants."
Yeah, and that
I was
was
like,
great.
"That's a classic." I'm like, "That's just Steve." Yeah, don't cream your pants. Because that's where he really gets the whole babysitter persona.
Was that season 2?
Yeah, because he comes to get Max because she's hanging
Yeah,
out
I
with
thought
Lucas.
that was the thing. But I also like the nickname that he gets in that one from Robin, Steve the Hair Harrington. I'm like, that's my favorite nickname in the whole show.
I like her whiteboard.
Yeah, like
You suck.
and like them going through and she's like, "Hey, your babies are here, and there's children out there." It's and Steve's like the babysitter now. Like he starts to follow into that role, but like then the whole like mind flare in the mall, and 11 pretty much has like she's fucking impotent or something. Like she can't get it up. Like what the hell?
Yeah,
like I don't know.
I was always very curious how she lost her powers. I think they kind of cleared that number 4 that it was more of like a mind block. Like she blocked herself more than the mind flare blocked her. Like that's what I kind of gathered.
Yeah, it was just weird.
It was like more of a mental block because she couldn't beat him. Like this is the first thing she fought that she couldn't beat.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we love the scene where Robin and Steve are just high on drugs.
Yeah, and it was just like, and they're sitting there laughing in the bathroom.
And they're watching Back to the Future, and he's like, "So he banged his mom?"
Yeah,
and she's like, "No."
Like I said, there's still some good moments in it, but I don't think they outweigh the. Like
No.
I truly thought it was kind of boring too.
And,
like,
I hated the Soviet Russian strong dude. I'm like, he's a ripoff Terminator. Jesus Christ, he's like.
Or it honestly reminded me. It might have been a reference to Indiana Jones when he's fighting that big strong guy with the plane spinning around in circles. The big Soviet guy.
I think it was a reference to
like
that.
It probably wasn't with the Duffer Brothers, but
I mean, I think it was because I know Hopper's look was kind of based off the Indiana Jones kind of look.
Yeah, but like I don't know. Then there was other stuff in the season, like the whole like first half where it was like, "I dump your ass," like and it was just like her and Max hanging out, and then it was like.
I'm gonna be honest. I think this is the worst dressed season too. They all look
weird. Yeah, and like I don't know. The whole season was like it was almost like we don't know what to do. Let's just let these teenagers run around and do whatever they want, and we'll just come up with some random monster.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, there's a lot of memorable parts. I mean, another 80s actor, the mayor. If people don't know him, he is from Saul. He's Dr. Lawrence. He's a doctor, if you didn't know that. Because he says it like 3 times throughout the Saul movie. He's like, "I'm a doctor." And it's like, "Yeah, we got it. You introduced yourself as doctor. We got it." He's also, if you're into rom-coms, not really rom-com, more of just a romantic thing. He is Wesley from The Princess Bride. He's a young version of him. So they once again bring another character in it, and that one was a reversal of last season where the bad guy became the good guy, and usually he's the good guy, and he became the bad guy this kind of season of he's selling the stuff to the Russians. And I think the other thing that I liked but didn't like was the whole group things, the different groups. There was just so many groups to like, what's this group doing now?
Yeah, because you had Steve and them doing the Russians.
Steve, Russian, Dustin... Or not the Russian. Steve, Robin, Dustin, and Erica
are doing the Russians.
Hopper and
Joyce
are figuring out who owns the mall.
Well, no, it's those two,
Russian.
Murray, and then they go around with Alexi.
Yeah, Alexi's a very character.
And then the main group are trying to figure out what's going on with Billy because 11 keeps read Billy's mind, and then they think that Billy's actually killing people. I think that's
like weird as hell that the person that she chooses to watch is the guy that's doing the killing. Like,
yeah,
they have all these names to like, let's spy on them, and then they're like, let's do Billy, and Billy's like, oh,
it's because the show wanted you to.
Yeah,
they had to figure like how do they.
And I think it's funny when Max goes when Max says, "Oh, what's he doing in his room? Has he got a magazine or something?" And you're like, into like, oh boy, I know what she's talking about.
Yeah,
like, Jesus. But like we said, it's an okay season. I mean, there's nothing crazy that happens. I mean, Steve Harrington once again becomes kind of the badass of the group, rams the car
into Billy's car.
Yeah, to stop him. And I mean, it's just stuff like that that I feel like.
Then you get to stuff like that where it's there's groups now. Now it's
now they're like getting together.
Yeah, and Nancy and Jonathan during all this, Nancy's working at this like Post, the newspaper place, and that's when they call her Nancy Drew, and she's over here doing research on the rats, which also have to connect with it, but not an important part of it. It's just like the smaller version before the people, and it's just like, I don't know. There's a lot going on, and there's not. It was kind of like a wasted season. Like nothing really came out of it other than Eleven's block. Everything else was, and Hopper's quote unquote death, which made them move away. Other than that, nothing else came out of that season.
And honestly, that's how I feel about the next season too. All we got in the new season was the big bad. I feel like season 4 was just setting up season 5. Like that, I feel like that's all it was. Which, don't get me wrong, most seasons are setting up for the next one and the next one, but that one was just like, oh no, they're all separate. Oh no, we're all back together.
Read the thing.
Okay. All right, Stranger Things season 4. It splits up the group across California, Hawkins, and Russia, introducing the terrifying, mind-bending villain, Vecna, who targets traumatized teens like Max, leading to a massive upside-down breach in Hawkins, while Eleven regains her powers to get back into the fight. As that's going on, Hopper escapes Russia with Joyce setting the stage for the final showdown. I mean, I looked up these summaries, and I mean, like they just said, it's setting up for the big showdown. That's all it was. Was you have to have a big bad? Vecna was the big bad. All right, let's set him up for him. And I feel like if they knew, I mean, don't get me wrong, as a producer and as shows runners, you don't know how many seasons you're going to get. That's just, you don't know. But I feel like if you knew on season, because I think season 3 is when they signed on for the next 2 seasons or something like that. And I feel like at season 3, if you know you're going to add Vecna and stuff, you got to put hints in for him. Like, they pretty much said, and if people don't know, there's a behind the scenes of all the seasons, kind of going through season 5 and stuff. And they even said they didn't have any really hinters that he's been behind it all the way. It wasn't until season 4 Vecna's like, I've been behind this the whole fucking time, and you guys had no idea about it. And it was like, okay, but like you could have had like Will hearing his voice in his head or something, like little nitbits of like, or when they're around a clock and the mind flares up, the clock stops or something, showing that, because you later on find out Vecna has a thing with clocks, and it would have been like interesting to be like, oh yeah, the clocks were stopping because Vecna's there, like it's him doing his thing, and it's just stuff like, I think that's what kind of irritates.
But I think you're thinking about it the wrong way. What if at that time, the first 3 seasons, Vecna wasn't there yet?
I know he was,
because the mind flare controlled Vecna, which controlled.
Which we find out.
Yeah. So what if the first 3? I mean, we have hints that season 1 may have been Vecna that took Will.
Yeah.
But we don't know what stage Vecna was at that time.
That is true.
So, and like a lot of these have to, like season 2, mind flare.
Long...
Season 3, mind flare. What if they didn't have that Vecna character? Like, mind flare didn't have that yet.
That's true. It could have been.
So, I mean, I think that's all up in the air. Like, maybe we're just making reasoning for poor writing.
Yeah.
But I see it like that.
The other thing I didn't like is, once again, that whole splitting groups. I mean, it's just like, who are we on now? What group are we watching? And then they add characters, and then it's like, we never heard from them again. Like the pizza guy, the Jonathan. I know he's in California, but I was like, man, I kind of want him to like, Jonathan to like call him or something and need help, and he's like, yeah, man.
But they did that throughout the other seasons. Like,
yeah,
season 5, we never heard of Dustin's girlfriend again.
Nope. And
she was in 3 and 4.
That would make sense that they split up after the events of this series, this season.
Not really.
Eddie died. He lost his best friend.
No, but like, with her, that's...
Yeah. I guess so. I don't really... And that's also something... And Eddie gets introduced as the D&D head campaigner. If you don't know,
for the high school.
Yeah, if you don't know, D&D always has like a campaigner that writes the campaigns for their people. And
the campaigner's always the bad person.
Yeah, he's always... In this case, he's Vecna.
Which, he's not always that person. It's just he wrote such a long and big campaign that it took the whole year to do.
And Vecna is the final boss in the third
But
game.
D&D is how they came up with the names. Like, it's not like Vecna was like, oh, I sent my Demigorgons after you. Like, that was all their D&D stuff. Yeah. So they actually named Vecna. Like, Vecna was like, I'm Vecna. Like, D&D, or he was just like, I'm Henry, I'm one. Yeah. Which you find out next season, but it's...
I think you find out this season. Because 11 reveals that you don't know his name, you just know him as number 1.
Well, no, we find out he's Henry Creel, too, because that's what Nancy figures out. Yeah.
Stuff I liked about this season. I like the whole Max thing of music helps you get out because it's connecting you to what you love.
And that's all she had all season.
Yeah,
because like her and Lucas kind of like...
They were still
back and forth, and
it was good to see 11 get her powers back, and Papa survived somehow. Well, no, he survived a Demigorgon ripping him to shreds, but
he's dead now.
Yeah, shot a few times.
Yeah,
more than a few times. But there was I liked the Russia scene. Because it was badass to see Hopper take down a Demogorgon with a fucking sword. The other thing to that, why the fuck did Hopper have a sword?
Well, I think we should take a break right here.
Okay.
Rank them.
Rank them?
Because I know Season 5 is going to really go into detail because of how we feel about it.
Yeah.
And so I think if we rank them now, then we cover Season 5.
It's fun.
And I think we should start with our least favorites and go to our favorite. You can go first.
Season 5 is number 5.
Obvious reasons. I don't think you really need to explain. Yeah. Because we will in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
For me, number 5, Season 1.
Really?
It's so boring. Like if I watched the show once the first time, maybe it'd be different. I literally stopped watching the show 3 times throughout Season 1. Like, it's so boring. And, I don't know, it's not that it loses me. It's just, it's so introduction, and you don't see much of the upside down. And Elle's speaking is so bad in that one. Like we said, I understand why they did it, but... Friends don't lie. It's all she said the entire time, and
I will say things I liked about the Season 1 was like the setting and the visuals.
But they did that in the other seasons too.
And then I liked the score of like playing David Bowie's Hero when they find Will's body and then revealing it's not Will's body, which that was a mind-blowing episode because even first time you watch it, you're like, oh shit, like they really just
and it was a stuffed thing.
And you're like, oh shit, they really killed that kid off, like he died.
Like, well, we knew that Will wasn't dead because they were showing him on the upside down. And
because he was telling his mom to run when they found the body.
Yeah,
so you kind of knew it, but at the same time, it was like, like I said earlier, is he in heaven or something? Like, it really, that part really messed with your body until she goes in and she's like, that's not my son.
I knew that it was somebody who faked his death, or maybe or even if it was a different kid, I don't know.
Season, what do you got for number 4?
Season 5.
Really? I had Season 3. Actually, I'm gonna change it. Season 5. Or I already did.
Yeah, you just.
Sorry, Jesus Christ. Season 3. I'm sticking with it.
Okay. My number 3 is Season 3.
Mine's number 4.
What you got next?
My number 2 was Season 1. Just because it was introducing the characters, you're meeting these kids that kind of were our childhood, but at the same time, like we watched them grow up, and like it's like whoa.
Yeah, my Season 2 or my number 2 was Season 2.
Mm.
I liked in Season 2 how like the group kind of starts fighting. Like then they're not Like,
As a
oh,
group,
everything's
yeah.
fine. Like, Dustin, like, he can't find his friend, so he makes a new friend of Steve.
Yep.
And, they start dealing with the Demo Dogs, and they start introducing other villains, and, I like that.
Yeah. My number 1 was season 2.
It was a good season.
It was.
Number 4 is my favorite season, which is funny, because whenever I was rewatching them, and I was like, I don't even want to watch season 4. I think season 4 is one of my least favorite. And then I started watching season 4 again, and I was like, between Eddie and Vecna being introduced, and them going after Max now, and Lucas bonding with Max again, and all the characters reuniting, and they started filling in some of the holes of like what's controlling these things. It's this head honcho, then it's the Russians. Something happened in Hawkins with the Russians, so what happened to the Russians? Well, now Hopper's with the Russians, and they're dealing with all that stuff. And honestly, I thought it was a great season. They started introducing the demo bats, and they started kind of like filling in some of the holes of like, oh, Vecna's the one who opens the gates, and like, why is one under the water? Because Vecna killed somebody there, and that's like his portal to come through, and I thought that season 4 was the best one. So that's why I was like, we should probably rank them now, because I know season 5's low on both of ours. But I didn't want to say how much I like season 4, because that would just ruin my top tier list. But I loved season 4. I thought it was... And I liked, you really got to see more of the Upside Down. You really got to see a bunch of that stuff. So I thought season 4 was really well put together. And now time for one of the worst seasons.
Stranger Things Season 5 sets in the fall of 1987. It follows the Hawkins group's final desperate attempt to defeat Vecna, who is merging the Upside Down, revealed as a wormhole to the Abyss, where Vecna rules. He's trying to combine their world and the Abyss together to create one, forcing them to rescue kids who Vecna has once again kidnapped. He's got a problem with kids. It's not good. I can understand why they're trying to kill him. And they all unite for a climactic battle against the Mind Flayer, which I think is a very loose term of climactic battle. Against the Mind Flayer and the new military threats, ultimately leading to a bittersweet, mostly hopeful ending where the core group survives, but with major sacrifices, lingering questions about Eleven's ultimate fate. Horrible.
Yeah, it was a terrible ending.
I don't like happy ending bullshit. One person died out of the whole fucking group.
I actually did write somewhere, I don't remember where, in my dislikes, I said, someone needs to die.
Yeah. Like Dustin's character, whoever, I forget his name, but who plays Dustin said, we were all open to killing her character. Okay, then fucking kill somebody.
Yeah, someone needs to die.
Like, even Eleven's death isn't really a death. It's a mystery of what really happened to her.
And, like, we have shows, like, I like The Walking Dead. Rick Grimes left. The show was like, it kind of sucked after that. Yeah. But we knew that this was the last season. This is your time. Kill people. Like, you don't have to worry about people coming back for the next season. Like, and I understand it would have been sad. Like, we don't want Dustin to die. We don't want Mike to die. Yeah. We don't want Will to die. But, like,
I didn't want
it's the last season. Like, if they did, it's not like you have to suffer through another season without him. Like,
I would have cried if Steve would have died.
Yeah, it would have been sad. But you need that sometimes.
But I kind of wanted him to die at the same time because I feel like he would have gone out a very like heroic and
you need
last stand kind of way.
You need it sometimes. Like,
I really thought Nancy was going to die when she's stuck in between the hill and.
Well, that's the other thing.
Mind Flayer. I was like,
you with each person gonna die.
I'm like, kill her. Like, her whole thing is her independence. Let her die with her independence of being the one to sacrifice herself. Like,
yeah, and so, I mean, I don't know how deep we want to get into this because, I mean, I'm sure everyone's seen TikToks of how bad all this stuff is. Nothing makes sense.
Yeah, it's not even that it doesn't make sense. I mean,
there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense.
There's a lot of stuff that There is. I mean, there's other things that I was like, you should have. Season 4 had wasted opportunity because you saved stuff to the last season, which I'm like, that should have probably been in season 4 rather than season 5. Like, so in season 4, they kill Vecna, but that's like his human vessel, as him as Henry. Like he's not Henry anymore. He's just Vecna. I mean, he still is Henry, but he's not human Henry like he once was. Like now he is truly the Abyss. Like that's who he is now. Like, and I felt that when you find out Will has powers or is feeding off of Vecna's powers, I should say, not he has his own. Which is funny that Will was always the sorcerer, and now he kind of is, because that's what he's doing. He's feeding off of power. I felt like Will's discussion with Vecna in the cave when Vecna is facing his true fear, I was like, that should have been in season 4 when he was more human, and Will could really pull on that, you're still a human, you need to fight the Mind Flayer. When he's doing it in season 5 where Vecna's already lost his human form, so Vecna's pretty much like, I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, I mean, I know Vecna says, I chose to kill them and stuff, but you know deep down it was the Mind Flayer controlling him.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Vecna probably slowly, like, mind changed Set as the Mind Flayer slowly corrupted him more. But I felt like season 4 definitely should have been that point where they're fighting Vecna to be like, come on, you can fight this. And not season 5 when he's already lost his body form. So if I lost my body form, there's no way I'm going back to the good side now. I'm already down this rabbit hole.
Yeah, and it was just a lot, like, one of the big things people bring up are, like, where are the demo animals? Like,
yeah. And the Duffer Brothers are like, well, he wasn't expecting an attack.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
And I saw somebody else was like, again, this is on TikTok, like, oh, well, they actually all went to help build that Mind Flayer thing. Just like in season, but just like season 3 where they were absorbing the stuff. But my thing is, okay, that's great. That's what you want to roll with. Somewhat logical, somewhat not. But how did the military build that big ass base there?
And Vecna didn't show up.
And none of those animals attacked.
Yeah.
Because we've shown that bullets don't hurt these things. Like, and that's the other thing. Was it this season? No. It was season 4. The one thing I didn't like in that was when they were in Russia and they had one of them strapped down.
Oh, yeah.
And Hopper just walked over and shot in the head and it died.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell? And, like, I don't know. There was a lot of plot holes like that. And, like, the demo dogs reproduced like that.
Yeah.
Like, there was that one little one that came out of Will.
Exactly.
And then, there was just a shit ton of them. Like,
yeah.
And there was nothing in this one. Nothing. And I felt like one of the problems in even The Walking Dead, where, you're watching and you're like, oh, they're going after these zombies, cool. Then they get into people versus people.
Yep.
And this season was people versus people. It's enough of that. This season was people versus people. Like, even with the inner thoughts of Henry, and then, like, I understand it was memories, but, like, Will had a terrible time dealing with Vecna, and Holly's over here dancing, baking cakes.
I like
and
the whole 22 Jump Street. Where's the 21 where they're tripping? And Channing Tatum's like, oh
yeah,
this.
And he's like,
and
I'm
Jenna
having
Hill's
a
like,
bad trip.
Yeah, dude. Channing Tatum's like, I'm having a great trip. I saw people agree Will versus Holly's version of the Upside Down. Will's like, oh my god, this is horrible here.
Yeah,
and
Will's
like,
over here fighting for his life, and Holly's making cakes and stuff like that. Yeah, and it was just...
And I feel like, why didn't he do that for Will? Like, why wasn't he doing that for Will? I just felt that was kind of weird.
And we were also watching it, Hannah and I were questioning, how he left?
Who?
Vecna. Like, he would leave to go to his person form or whatever.
Yeah.
How do you leave your own mind? Like, even if you're out of the thing, you're still in your mind. Like,
I think he was... See, I thought about it as he was hooked up to the Mind Flayer, and all the kids were hooked up to it, so he could just... I don't know. Like, he could just go...
So why was... And that's the other thing. Why wasn't the Mind Flayer in any of them either?
Well, they were.
Like, because they were in Vecna's memory, but if they're hooked up to the Mind Flayer, then the Mind Flayer is hooked up to all of them.
Which they were, because when they pulled it out of the mouth, the dust came out. But then I was like, well, where's the dust going now?
And not only that, but shouldn't Holly have powers then? Because that was the whole reason Will did.
Mm-hmm. They all should, all the kids.
Yeah.
But I think Will...
And I'm worried that that's going to be one of their spin-offs.
Mm.
And another spin-off they said they're going to do is all about the thing in the briefcase. Like before that event with Henry Grill.
I mean, that'd be kind of interesting.
I literally wrote no spin-offs. If that's how you're going to end season 5.
The only spin-off I wanted was Robin and Steve.
Well, still, like...
That'd be a hell of a spin-off.
No, none of them.
Really?
Like, have you ever seen a TV show that had a successful spin-off?
Not really.
Walking Dead made 5 of them, and none of them were any good.
Yeah,
like,
Buffy the Vampire Slayer made Angel, and that wasn't very good.
Like, I've never heard of a TV show, and if you guys have, please leave it in the comments, but I have not seen a spin-off that I was like, this is as good as the show, or even halfway as good as the show. Like, they suck. Even if it's a spin-off movie. Like, I love Breaking Bad. El Camino, awful.
Yeah.
Like, the spin-offs are not good. And they want to do, like, 3 different ones. And by the way, we were talking about this before and we haven't discussed it yet. I think Elle's dead.
I don't...
None of it makes sense on how she was still alive.
Who?
Elle.
It does, but it doesn't at the same time.
Okay, think about it like this. Callie, if she did, projected everyone to see Elle by the portal. So how did Elle and Mike have that where Elle went into Mike's head?
Because she was hiding.
She can't see it.
Huh?
She couldn't see them. She needs a bathtub now. Like,
well, she might have got... that part I didn't understand.
And Callie was clearly dead.
Well, my biggest thing about Elle being dead is... one of the biggest... I mean, I think that's why they did is to leave this plot hole of, like, it's up to you to decide her fate. But it's one of those things where I'm like I said to you, how did she get past all the Sonic stuff? And no military person's like, grab the psychic woman first, don't worry about anybody else.
Yeah, because she got off...
Everybody, like, you watch her get off behind Mike and then everybody's like, what?
And then she sprints over to the gate. And
even though all the Sonic things are going, and every time we've seen her so far with the Sonic things, she's screaming in pain.
Yeah.
But also she's able to get to the game and be like, throw up the double middle finger and call it a day. Like,
but even if that was... Where was Elle? When did she get off the truck?
And no one even talks about the fact that what happens to all those women that they were
Oh, they're dead.
Pregnant?
Yeah, they're dead.
Oh, yeah, they were in the Upside Down.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
And not only that, but that was also Callie's master plan because she didn't want them to reproduce at all. And not only that, but the military just lets them off scot-free. And I love the TikToks. Like, you murdered, 1,200 of our men. But it's all good. Like,
and then there's Hopper, just been missing for how many years in Russia, went underground, and then he's like, so, can I have my job back? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you killed tons of our people. You'd be a good cop. Like,
yeah. I feel like there was things missing. Don't get me wrong.
And we can go on and on about the bad things. Let's do a short list of the things we did like about Season 5, because there's not that many. But one of the things I did like was that the Upside Down is a bridge to two worlds. Like that. And it reminded me of Minecraft. Yep. Because the Nether is the Upside Down. Because there's a roof and a floor.
Yep.
And then the end is the other planet.
Yep.
So I did like that. I thought that was pretty clever. However, I didn't like how, like Will. Will was in there for a while. Anytime he never found a wall. Like...
Unless, like you said, Vecna was still building it.
Well, but Vecna's not the one who built the wall. We found that out.
Oh, yeah.
The wall is the bridge.
That's right. If
there was no wall, they would have gone into space.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, like, there's a couple of things like that, it was good and bad.
I liked the character developments in this one from Nancy and Jonathan.
But even their own proposal confused me.
Yeah, it don't confuse me, but at the same time, it was kind of like they're finally adulting. I liked Steve and Dustin, their fight, and then it turned into just Dustin was afraid of losing Steve like he lost Eddie. Because, yeah, Eddie was close to him, but he said, like, Steve will always be his best friend because of
But there was
he
also
did.
stuff in there that the Duffer Brothers made Steve say.
Yeah.
He did nothing. His sacrifice was for nothing.
Yeah.
Because I guess that there was some acting problems with Eddie's character, where he didn't want to follow the script. And I think the Duffer Brothers got upset about that, so then they threw that in there, like to say, hey, you guys shouldn't like Eddie or something.
Yeah, but I mean, Steve's not wrong. He did tell Dustin and Eddie, get out. Like, we'll survive or we'll die. Like, and I think that's why Steve said this, because he was frustrated with Dustin.
But on
like
the other hand, people argue that, like, did he really die for nothing? Because,
not really.
you know,
He did.
they could have both gotten out.
Yeah.
But that's not... Eddie didn't do it to save Dustin. Dustin was already safe.
Yeah.
He did it because if they left, the demo bats would have gone after
Yeah.
Nancy and Steve and them who was trying to kill Vecna. So he was like, hey, we need more time. This is the best way I know how to get more time. So, you know, I don't know. Season 5 was up and down. There was all of a sudden the stuff at Hawkins' lab. That's the one thing I didn't like too.
Yeah.
Hawkins' lab had this big thing on the roof. This was not the first time they went to the Upside Down at Hawkins' lab. And now all of a sudden there's this big thing that's melting half the building.
And they never saw that before.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So.
Well, before we both get more pissed off and frustrated with
and
this
get
series,
more into this. We're going to do some fun stuff now. Well, maybe not start off fun because...
Well, we don't have to start off with that one. We'll do top 5 characters first.
Okay, I have an honorable mention too.
Oh, do you? I do too.
Okay, perfect. So how do you want to do this one? Number one, I think we're going to do number 1 first because, we decided that, most people like the same kind of people, and then 4 or 5, those people I kept switching them out with other people, so...
I think we can both say our number 1 at the same time.
Steve. Yep.
Steve.
Dude's a legend.
Yeah.
Steve the Hair Harrington.
The babysitter.
Yeah. I mean, awesome dude. Great character.
Yeah.
Singer now. I wish he would do more stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
What you got for number 2?
Hopper.
Hopper 2 is number 2.
Come on.
Season 5, I feel like they put him on the back burner a little bit, which was kind of disappointing. Except for the part that he just was like, I'm going to kill myself. Like that's until the end where he's like, "Hey man, don't go down the dark road." Was literally
like, "I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna kill myself," and then he's like, "L, what do you mean you're gonna kill yourself?" And he's like, "That's what you've been trying to do the whole time." Like,
and also I feel like the ending was very good. The ending of 11 died, blah blah blah, and him talking to Mike. I feel like he was the only one that could have talked to Mike and understood what he was going through.
Especially after the whole season 3 thing where him and Mike. It's your mom. Your grandma.
Your grandma died.
Yeah,
what?
That's the kind of oh, well, these two, they're going at each other, but it's because they both love Elle. So, yeah, Hop, great character.
I feel like my number 3 is going to surprise you. It's Lucas. I like Lucas as a character. I think he's always been I want to say backbone, but not, because kind of Mike's the backbone of the... kept the friend group together. But Lucas was always that character that always had potential to be the badass of the group, but never...
Well, his actor was the one that said, I think Lucas should wear a headband.
Yep.
But there's some things I did like Lucas. Because Lucas was one of the people who was always thinking rationally of guys, why are we doing this? And even Will sometimes was like that, because he'd be like, can we just play D&D, guys? But Lucas truly was the high school of I'm having girl problems and everything, but
his girlfriend was in a coma.
Well, not only that, but season 3 was when they were... They said that they broke up 12 times. And
and that's the other thing for season 5. How the fuck did Max graduate? She's been in a coma for half a year.
Speaking of which, I saw something and I was like, this is awesome. They said, what if? And they understand why it was Max, but what if she Holly picked up her head and it was Eddie in that world? That would have been great. And the other one was a better ending would be 5 years later, and it shows Elle at the thing with the 3 waterfalls. Yeah. And Mike comes up with these 2 kids that's supposed to represent their 2 kids, and Like that I understand you don't like the happy endings, but that still would have been a better.
That would have been better ending than just saying, I don't know. Did you know it?
Maybe because we didn't have the budget to figure it out. But yeah, so I understand Lucas. Lucas was, and he has some funny moments too. But I feel like he was always like the odd man out in the friend group, because even at the end, like my number 3 is Dustin.
Yeah,
like Dustin felt like, oh, I'm out of the group. So he made friends with, like Steve, Eddie and Steve, and like Lucas like only had Max, and then once he lost Max, it was kind of like, what do I do? Like he still had the other ones, but they had connections with other people. So Lucas was always kind of like running around with a bunch of people, because I don't know, it was kind of weird like that.
Yeah.
Because he even started hanging out with Robin a little bit. Because Robin was her girlfriend was working at the hospital, and that's where Max was. So, all right, what's your number 4?
I had Mike. Like I said, he's the backbone of the group. I mean, a lot of the ideas that happened were because Mike was like, "Hey guys, this is what we should do." And I feel like it was him and Dustin. Like you said, Dustin's an important character. He's the smart guy.
And Dustin figures out like everything. Yeah. And they even said that.
Except for the stalk beam, when he's like, Harrington's like, well, we could use like a beanstalk. And they're like, Harrington's like, that's stupid as hell, but it's going to work. And Hopper's like,
no, but think this is going to work. The only thing Dustin didn't know about is he was wrong about
the antenna.
No, the ball thing at Hawkins' lab where Nancy shot it.
Heart,
yeah. And he was like, because he usually is right. Yeah. So like, you got to believe the guy. Yeah. And then he's like, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Like I don't. Yeah. And that was their snapping moment to him and Steve making up. And
I think in season 5, really, Mike also takes more of a leadership role, of like, I don't even have a word.
My whole problem with Mike is he's too obsessed with 11.
Yeah.
And like he like would blind himself about the real problems just because of 11.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. What do you have for your number 4?
I had Eddie.
That makes sense.
I mean, like I truly wish that they brought him in for at least 2 seasons. Yeah. I understand that maybe they killed him off truly because of that problem the directors had with him, but like Eddie's character was so different than everyone else, and Eddie's character was so misunderstood. Like, whenever because, you know that whole thing with Chrissy, where they're in the woods and they meet for the first time? Mm-hmm. That's because the actor was actually afraid of Eddie. Mm. And he was like, I wanted her just to, chill out like I'm just a normal person. Yeah. So he did all that stuff to cheer her up, and they kept it in. Like, I understand that they wanted him to stick to the script, but I think him going off script made his character better.
Yeah.
And, and I love, when Dustin's like, I never even seen him get mad. He's like, Jesus Christ! And he, starts throwing shit.
This is music!
Yeah. He's like, this is music! He's like, wake up, Chrissy! I don't know. His character's so quotable. He was definitely like that. Hey, I may not have a lot of friends, but the friends I do have, I do anything for. And he's always like I'm not a hero. And then he becomes a hero.
For me, number 5 is Nancy. Nancy is one of the strongest female characters I've seen in a while that I'm like, that's believable. She's independent.
I truly think that Nancy had a better role than Elle.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Nancy was the Miss Guns, I'm gonna kill Vecna, I'm gonna kill that bitch. And then fucking season 5 comes, she's like, alright, let's just drop fuckers. And she just starts shooting army men. I'm like, okay, Nancy, I see you. Just don't give a fuck anymore about going to college. You're just like, let's drop some bitches.
Yeah.
And she just becomes this badass character that season 1 and 2, she might have helped defeat him, but she wasn't a badass character. It wasn't until end of season 3, season 4 that she was like, fuck this shit, I'm killing some bitches.
Yeah. And like I said, she was that strong, independent character, but I think she did better at it than Elle and Max. Yeah. It was kind of funny because in the beginning she was, I need the man's approval, and with Steve and everything, and now she's like, fuck Jonathan, you're being a bitch. Give me the gun. So It was a good character. Me, my number 5 might shock you. He was only in 1 season.
Was it Bob?
No. My boy, dipshit Derek.
Oh yeah,
Dude, that man is so funny. In the beginning, I was like, this guy is so annoying. And then a second episode, I was like, Derek's the man. Like, and
you're not dipshit. I'm delightful.
You don't need delightful Derek right now. We need dipshit Derek. And then he's like, suck a fat one.
I loved that he just turns to Vecna after he gets Holly back. He goes,
and he flips him.
Yeah, flips him off. I was like, yes, Vecna's probably like, who the fuck is this kid?
Why did I choose this one? This guy's an asshole. And not only that, but like I love the scene where they're like, you here for what's it? And there's like the kid who's crawling out of the floor, and he's like, he runs down, and he's sitting there beating the shit out of people with a roller, and he's like, you go. And he's like, we're visualizing.
I also liked when he's, where is that at? I can't think of it right now. It might come back to me.
And also the other one.
I like when Max and Holly are like out in the woods and they tell their whole plan. They're like, "What did you hear?" And he goes, "I only heard, how you're gonna do this and this and this." And she's like, "So you heard the whole thing?" Pretty much.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I also love when they go to inject all the his family, and he's like, Dad's drunk again, and then he passes it out. Oh yeah,
they're like, don't be scared, suck a fat one.
Yeah,
whoa.
and he also needed a stunt double to climb up the ladder in the barn. It's so funny, but I don't know, his character, like, it just brought something to season 5 that I was like, I didn't expect that I needed this kind of comedy, because honestly, without him, season 5 probably would have been. We cut a lot of it out.
Yeah.
What are we at?
Minute 13.
An hour and 13?
An hour and 13. So we could just do top 3.
Well, we have to cut out the first beginning.
Oh, yeah.
It's like 10 minutes because we just kept. No, we'll just be quicker on that because we don't have much left. Mm-hmm. We have character developments and saddest deaths.
Yeah.
So, we'll do a quick honorable mention and then jump into saddest deaths.
Yep.
So, next.
My honorable mention for characters is I gotta go with my girl Max. Actually, I'm gonna change it. Billy.
Billy was a good addition.
Even though he was a villain, he was one hell of a good villain. And I enjoy a good villain. Because the show is only as good as its villain. Oh, even though the Mind Flayer was the main villain, Billy, like when he was in the sauna and he was like, Max, please help me, and she believed him, and then he smashes the window and he's like, come here, you bitch, and I'm like, whoa.
The other thing is Billy made it more personal.
Yeah.
Of like, hey, we met Billy before all this.
And he's like, in season 2, like, Steve Harrington's the hotshot, and then Billy comes and Steve Harrington becomes a nobody because Billy's just stronger and better than him, and that drives Steve crazy.
This is a hot take.
Oh.
And this is another one like dipshit Derek, where every time he came on the screen, I was dying. My boy Ted Wheeler.
Oh, yeah.
And him and Dustin's relationship, like, just take us all for all we're worth. And Dustin's like, thanks. And he goes, don't you know that my kids don't live here anymore? He's like, language. Like, and then he comes up with this golf club and starts beating up a Demigorgon. I don't know. That's just a funny guy. I liked
when he was like sitting on the couch and she's like, oh, great job, Ted. And he's like, what did I do?
He's like, what did I do?
All right. Time for
saddest deaths.
Number 3. I have Alexi.
Me too.
That one really hurt. I thought that guy was going to survive.
No. And Alexi wouldn't have been so sad. But
if
they
you didn't watch him win.
But they did it.
The woodpecker.
After he was like, hey, I'm having you could tell that he's had a stressful life.
Yeah.
Now he's at the fair, and Murray's like his buddy now, and he gets like, what did a woodpecker? And Murray's like, yeah, and then.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
I feel like we're going to have the same list here.
Yeah.
Number 2, I have Bob.
I have Bob.
And then number 1, Eddie.
Yep.
Yep.
And
Bob's was just
honorable
so sad
mention,
because he was so close.
Yeah.
He was right at the door, and it's like, gotcha, bitch. And
Eddie's is just every time. And the crazy part is all these deaths. I didn't necessarily cry. Like, I didn't cry at Alexi's just because Alexi wasn't a main character. Yeah. Bob was like, it was more of a shock.
Yeah.
Eddie's, I didn't cry when he died. But when Dustin is talking to his uncle,
Yeah,
that's when I was like, okay,
and I
this
felt
is...
bad that they kind of made Eddie seem like he was the villain of that season, and it was like he really wasn't. Like the community said it was him because of D&D, which was I didn't say during the season, but that was an interesting part because that same year there was a lot of controversy with D&D being Satanism
and rock music
like AC/DC for Antichrist and Devil's Cult. And then the guys were like, no, I read it off my sister's toy and it said AC/DC for electricity. And that's where I got it from.
Yeah, and then you have like Metallica and stuff. Like, this is music!
Yeah. And that's who Eddie was. I mean, that was a lot of kids back in the day were like that.
And Master of Puppets, great song choice. Purple Rain, not so.
Purple Rain was good.
Not for what was going on.
Yeah.
They were about to blow up and kill a bunch of pregnant women in Purple Rain. I'm like,
Yeah. I would really like to see Steve Harrington's song in there.
Or even Upside Down.
Yeah.
Like, something. Like, I don't know. It's just... But we're going to go with most developed characters. And, since we're getting towards the end, I think we're going to wrap it up after that. So...
Who you got for number 3?
I have Eddie.
Eddie? And
I do it because Eddie was I don't care about any people other than my friends. And, he saves everyone.
And he cares about Steve because of everything he's done for Dustin.
Yeah, and he cares about Steve. And, like Dustin said, he risked his life, or he died for a bunch of people that didn't even like him. And he kind of grew to trust more people, and he grew that, these people are worth saving in the long run. And I don't know, for one season's worth, I'd say he grew a lot as a character. And, I mean, if he had 5 seasons, Mike's growth and all that, if he had 5 seasons, who knows what could have happened. But he went from being the big pussy to...
Yep.
I'm going to take them all by myself to try to save everyone. So I decided to go with Eddie on that one.
Number 3 for me, Billy. Billy was the douchebag, the big villain, and all it took was 11 to be like, you're not a bad person. Because I liked I liked Billy because he was such a, you're a bad guy, or... You're a douche. You're mean to Max. You don't like Lucas because of his skin color. It was messed up stuff.
And I have Billy as number 2. So
yeah, and for me, it was the fact that you saw how abusive he was and just a dick. But then they showed you his home life and show his dad grabbing him by the hair and throwing him to the ground.
And not only
then right away you're like...
And not only that, but at the end,
he lost his mom.
He saved somebody he's barely met with.
He sacrifices himself for Max because Max
and
Mike
and Al
are about to get hurt, and he jumps in the way and says he's done, pretty much helping the Mind Flayer.
Yeah.
And it was very... I almost put that death on the top 3 because of...
actually did. I crossed it out because, like I said, I forgot about Bob.
Yeah. And it was one of those things where it was kind of like Eddie. Except for his were different, he was protecting his family.
And not only that, but Eddie was a liked character.
Yeah.
Billy was liked because he was such a bad villain.
Yeah. And I just thought it was a good ending for a character that had a lot of emotional problems that never faced it until 11 pretty much tapped in his head and was like, hey, look, I understand you lost your mom, and that really hurt you, and your dad's a dick. But look at
the rest of us
look
have
what you're
gone
doing.
through.
Yeah.
I get it. Like I said, it was my number 2. So, what was your number 2?
My number 2, like I kind of mentioned earlier, was Nancy. She's, like we said, like a skittish, by the books, yes sir, yes ma'am person. And then by the end, she's like, fuck everybody, I'm killing bitches, killing Vecna. And it just was like someone else that I kind of thought about that kind of did that was kind of, I thought about it a little bit, I thought about putting kind of Hopper or someone in it, but I would have put Hopper in, but season 5, like I said, put him really on the back burner, and that irritated me because he was kind of like, I'm your coach, and now I'm kind of seeing as a father figure. I mean, don't get me wrong, he came back a little bit at the end talking to Mike and being like, hey, I went down, there's 2 roads you can go down. One's a lot of depression, one is a successful life, and he's like, I've already been down one of those roads. And you're kind of like, yeah. It's not until like season 5 again, because they mentioned in season 1, like you see the flashbacks of his daughter and stuff, and that's why I was put it. But Nancy's just like, she just kept building as a character to the point, like even season 3 and 4, even the beginning of season 4, she was still like skittish around Jonathan, like, I don't want to make him mad, like we'll make this work no matter what. And season 5, she's like, fuck you, bud, I'm done. Like, and it was just good character development to see out of a woman, because I like when they do strong women character, but it's not like
shove it in your face.
And I don't like the character that's just dumb the whole time. Like, if you don't learn, I don't like you as a character.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta learn mistakes, and you gotta build from your mistakes.
Yeah. I'm assuming we both have the same number 1.
Steve Harrington.
Yeah, I
mean,
I think it's self-explanatory.
Goes from the jock to the babysitter.
But not only that, like, he goes from being a dick
something
to...
Something else I want to say about season 5. What the fuck was with the pause with Steve Harrington? Like, the black screen. I'm like... I understand you were trying to, like, is he dead? Is he gonna die? But then at the same time, I was like, this isn't a fucking TV show. There's no commercial break during that.
You're skipping something. What about when Robin said that he had a big weenie?
I mean, I remember that.
That's a pretty big thing to go in a small space. Steve does that all the time, and he still jumps in, don't you, big boy? What the hell? Like,
yeah.
And the other thing I saw that was funny, now that we're done with this, someone commented on this, and I hope this is appropriate for you too. But someone said that Nancy and Barb were getting eaten at the same time.
Oh boy.
One by Steve and one from the Demi-Gordon.
Oh boy. We might have to cut that one out.
I think we're fine. I always check that not for kids.
That's when you just bleep that part out, so everybody's like, what did he say?
But
you just hear me go, oh god, that's not good.
But I was like, that's so funny, because it's true. Like, but yeah, I think this was a good episode. I know that we're going to do one similar to this here soon. So I know I said first week in March, but one of those weeks around there, we're going to do that. The Scream, all the Scream movies, because the new Scream coming out.
Number 7.
I think we're going to do something similar to this, where, we focus on all of them, and then...
And that episode, depending on the length, might be a 2-parter, because just depending on... There is 7 of them. It might be...
But I think if we do what we did this time with like short summaries per movie, maybe not go into deep, because we technically already went over Scream of like how we felt about each one of them. But I figured we could do like top 5 killers, top 5 motives, whatever, top 5 movies.
And I have another question for you before we end this. Where does Stranger Things rank in your show list? So top 10?
It's top 5.
Top 5. Mine's just out of top 5.
I think it's 4.
Oh, mine's just number 6. It's right outside. I might have to rewatch it. It might jump a little bit. Sometimes rewatching a show, you find new stuff that you like. But it was top 5. It was number 5. And season 5 was just like...
Yeah.
It dropped, and I was like... Ah.
But I see it as an overall show.
Because I like when people do the horse... That it's like a fire horse.
And then it's like season 5 is like the little one drawn by like a 5-year-old. Yeah.
And I'm like, that's how it was though. Season I said season 1 was like nice drawn, and then like season 4 and 2 I think were on the fire horse, and then season 3 was like the first season kind of okay, and then season 5 was just like, eh. Yeah,
and like, I mean, my personal TV shows that I usually like aren't super sci-fi.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, this was a very big one for you because I know you're not into sci-fi.
Well, I really like sci-fi.
You're into more like futuristic sci-fi.
Well, not like I like Game of Thrones, and Game of Thrones is like the Ice King and the Ice Zombies and all that stuff like that. But it's also like historical too with the time period.
Exactly.
Like, and there was dragons and
this. I will say this did a very good job at historically, except for every fucking season they had at least one song that was not released that year, but they still put it in the season.
What was season 4's?
I forget. I had it looked up.
Because I thought it was Master of Puppets.
It might have been.
But Master of Puppets came out 23 days before that episode was supposed to be, like, that episode was based on.
Well, I'm telling you, he's got connections then if he heard that for 23 days. Because back then it was probably hard to get. Talco.
Well, no, but you have to think, I was thinking that too, of like, oh, well, he already has it on tape, but he played it on the guitar.
Yeah, he learned. Master of Puppets, one of the hardest things to learn in the world of the riffs.
Yes, but on the other hand, Eddie didn't really have a lot of friends.
True.
And he had Hellfire once a week. Like, that's probably what he did. Like, he loved music. So, like, because I saw a TikTok of that too, of like, it wasn't out yet. And then we looked it up.
And 1, 2, and 3, there was like 2 songs that were like, it was released the next year, but it was like, we'll let you go on that one. You used it properly.
But that's also, like Hannah said, that's why they didn't use Steve's song. Because it was released this year. Like, but I don't think anybody would have cared because it's one of the characters' songs. Like, most of the time when they played the music, other than the one that Max was physically listening to.
Which, Running Up the Hill, my fiance liked that song, and she's like, yeah, it was kind of dumb because the reason that song became popular again was because of Stranger Things. And I was like, yeah, her song jumped back up on the leaderboard because people were listening.
But the only people, like, even Master of Puppets, like, it was, everyone loves them. But
and actually...
but it came back because, I mean, and that's good.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's good if the songs come back from a TV show like that. I think that's good.
Yeah.
I also I didn't like how much marketing was in the show.
Yeah.
Like, even in season 3, I think it was, when Lucas was talking about New Coke.
Yeah.
He's like, it's cool, it's savory, it's... I'm like, okay, like...
No, season 5 felt like a lot of marketing, because Steve's like, oh, this is blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and they actually brought it back because of that. And I was like, what is the point of this? Like... So... I don't know. Like I said, it is in my top 5, but that's... I don't know. It was a really good show. Even season 5 had things I liked. It created more plot holes for me. Yeah. But...
And they said they might revisit in 20 years when he said they all need money again.
Yeah. But they won't.
No.
But,
if they do, Steve better have his 6 nuggets. I'm going to lose my shit.
Yeah, in his RV.
Yeah. I was going to say, if Steve doesn't show up in an RV with 6 nuggets, if they come back in 20 years, I'm done.
What if they made a Stranger Things about Steve's 6 kids?
They're stuck in the Boom!
Next, you and I, next Stranger Things, we're going to make it. No, but, like, it's still a top 5 for me. I did like it. And, I'm watching other shows, but, it was done really well. And it had a poor ending, but Game of Thrones is in my top 2, and it also had a bad ending.
Yep.
But I don't think the ending makes the show.
Yeah, it doesn't break the show.
But I wish that it had better endings. But now that I think about it, a lot of shows, I think, have poor endings because they have to summarize 8 seasons or whatever it is in 2 episodes. So, I don't know, like, even The Walking Dead, very bad ending. Like, they just, like, or all of a sudden, like, hey, we're going to go our separate ways because they want to make spin-offs. And now people are in London that were just in Georgia. And, like, I'm like...
Yeah, Supernatural was like that. They had to wrap up 15 seasons, and it was just like...
Teen Wolf had a pretty poor ending, I think. Like, because they wanted to make the move... Like, I don't think a lot of shows know how to end properly. Because most of the time, they're like, hey, this is our last season.
It's hard. It's also hard, I think, to get everybody's, like, the majority of people, like, how they would want it to end. It's hard to give everybody that.
But it's also like you said, everyone wants a happy ending, and the Duffer Brothers try to change it a little bit by saying, ooh, is Max dead? Or not Max, is 11 dead?
Yeah.
Honestly,
it kind of fell short.
Honestly, I don't really care.
I don't either.
Like, that was so uneventful. Like, I would rather they actually just killed her.
Honestly, hear me out. I know people talked about Eddie being Vecna's, like, pretty master puppet, like he's the puppet, and people did an edit of Eddie catching Steve, and I was like, like, that would have been dumb if they would have done that, like Eddie catching Steve and bringing him up and being like, oh shit.
But even if they did one of those things that, oh man, in order to kill Vecna and the Mind Flayer, Will has to die too, because they're connected.
Which, that's a big plot hole.
Yeah.
So Vecna starts crying because he's seeing his memories, and Will starts crying. But then when Vecna gets his head chopped off, Will's over here like, double middle fingering it. Fuck you,
you're
bud.
Out of me now, buddy, but I guess what? I got powers.
Does that mean, like, Will can still, like, see out of Vecna's head still? Like,
I don't know. I think
it's funny.
all a
Did
big
you see the
plot
behind
hole.
the scenes of when Joyce is killing him?
I didn't watch that.
Oh
at
my
all
god,
because
it's funny. It is funny because she has a fake accent. She's like, but I don't want to hurt him, and they're like, it's fake. You're okay. But she's like, but I don't want to hurt.
She's funny
Because she was so afraid to hurt him, and even James, I think that's his name, who plays Vecna. He was like, it's okay, like.
Well,
he's like British. He's like, it's okay.
one of the things I have to do for my TV shows, which I'll say this before we sign off, is would I rewatch the show determines is part of the rating. Because if I won't watch a show, I can't give it more than a 7.
Yeah.
Because how could I give it a high rating if I'm not willing to rewatch the show? And I would watch Stranger Things again, especially now that I know the disappointment of season 5. Because maybe the big thing was, which it has so many plot holes, but maybe it was overhyped.
I wish the conformity gate would have happened.
Honestly, they should still do it and save the show. Like
that would have been badass if like someone made like an AI and like Mike wakes up.
They did, and it was spectacular.
Yeah,
it was. I mean, it was a trailer.
Yeah, but it was like Mike wakes up because he's the one that's like the first one to snap out of it.
Well, it creates like a thing where you know how they put up their books from D&D. It creates like a gate.
Yeah,
through that, and it was like, oh, this looks really good. And the AI was I truly thought it was a real trailer, and I was like, this looks good, and it's not gonna happen, people. I'm sorry. Yeah. And we gotta stop like defending just poor directing on that one.
I mean, like they actually said in the the behind the scenes that they did not, while they were filming the 5th season, they did not write the ending yet, and it was like, why?
Yeah, and the one guy literally said that he was upset that they even did the interviews and they shouldn't have done them.
Yeah.
And he said, I was just getting over the flu. I'm sorry. Like, that, it truly doesn't matter. It sucked. Yeah. You can answer it any way you want. There was a lot of plot holes. There was a lot of things that make you think they're in the conformity gate. And even if that's how they left it, of like, are they in it? Are they not? Where they emphasized that part more, would have been better than, is Elle alive? Because I don't care.
Yeah.
So, I think that's it, guys. I think we're going to wrap it up here. It was... I can't even see how long.
An hour and 33.
I'm going to have to cut a lot of this out.
Well, we did talk a little bit.
Well, guys, it was a longer episode. Sorry about that. But we did cover an entire TV show.
Yeah.
So, if you want us to do other TV shows, which, they might take a while then, if you're giving us, like, Walking Dead that has 12 seasons or something like that, or Supernatural, which
15, or Smallville, which is 10,
So, I mean, maybe we can just cover new TV shows or new seasons of stuff. But, it was nice for us to try something different.
Yeah.
So, give us suggestions on any movies you want us to watch, TV shows. Maybe we can do, like, if you want us to do something like a long show that instead of doing the agree to disagree, we'll just do a season of the show for 12 weeks or something like that. Like,
however long it takes.
So we'll do this show first and then the movie afterwards, whatever you guys want us to do. So, yeah, give us a like and a follow if you like this content, and we're gonna keep dealing you guys some movies and TV shows and tell you what to watch and not to watch.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's it. Next,
like I always say, stay curious and keep watching movies
and keep listening to us. I'll see you guys later. This is Film Frenzy signing off.
See ya.